What's going on, everybody? It's the Kia King here, and today I have a all-new 2023 Kia Sportage Hybrid. This one is a very difficult vehicle to get currently just because of supply chain issues between a lot of manufacturers and goods and things like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's a lithium shortage, which doesn't really help battery production, which is why finding a hybrid is pretty difficult, and finding a Sportage hybrid is even more so. But we have one, this one's available, and this one is the Mac Daddy Prestige trim. So today I'm gonna walk through it with you guys, and I'm gonna show you all the cool features that this thing has. Now, if you are new to the channel, then thank you for clicking on this video, and I appreciate you watching my content. If you're a returning viewer, then I appreciate the support because you guys have been following me for God knows how long, and I even see some OG followers that comment down below every time I release a new video. So I always appreciate any of the feedback, comments, concerns, things like that regarding any of my content, and hopefully I can continue to entertain you guys, but also inform you guys about Kia and what Kia is doing in modern times. So in saying that, let's get to the video. So let's talk Sportage Hybrid, okay? This goes a little bit against the grain versus other Sportage models. Now, if you remember, the last generation Sportage had an SX turbo option, had quite a bit of power, and everybody loved that model. Now, the gas models have a 2.5 4-cylinder available, but there's no turbo powertrain possible. Well, the hybrid kind of changes that, because this has a 1.6 turbocharged 4-cylinder with a hybrid battery pack. So total output's about 227 horsepower, 258 foot-pounds of torque, and your average fuel economy can be 38 miles per gallon. It is absolutely amazing. You don't sacrifice performance, you don't sacrifice fuel economy, you definitely don't sacrifice space, and I'm gonna be biased, but you definitely don't sacrifice looks, because this thing looks incredible. So overall, it's a fantastic package. You can get it in an LX model, you can get it in an EX, and you can get it in an SX Prestige. So you got 3 flavors, and of course you can get it in a plug-in hybrid, but that's gonna be a separate video when we get one in stock here at City Kia. Now, for the sake of conversation on this one, MSRP can fluctuate between $37,000 and $39,000 depending on how you option it out. So honestly, it's not too much more than what the outgoing SX Turbo was in terms of price point. So let's talk about the Sportage Hybrid's front end. So it's actually very similar to the gas-powered model. There's not much that you would look at to differentiate this from the hybrid. However, there is one major thing, and that's actually going to be the radar cruise control brick on the front bumper. So normally it's dead center in the middle. On the hybrids, it's actually a little offset, okay? And I do believe that's because there's an additional intercooler, because this one does have the 1.6 turbocharged 4-cylinder in addition to the hybrid battery pack. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason why, because I do see an intercooler a little bit closer towards the center there where the radar cruise control brick would be. Anyways, when you're looking at the front here, you're going to notice a lot of satin finishes here in silver, which is really nice. You do have a full LED headlight system. It is going to be 2 projector beam LED bulbs for your high beams and your low beams. Of course, you got this beautiful boomerang LED running light, and you have your LED indicators built into the housing as well. One thing to make note is one of these lines from the indicator stays on when your headlights are on. So I only mention that because there is regulations that there has to be kind of a reflector piece or an illuminated piece that can be seen from the side of the vehicle. And they implemented that as a safety feature, but also stylistically. And I think that says a lot about the attention to detail that Kia is willing to put in these cars. Now, you got LED fog lights down here. You do have front parking sensors, and you have a front camera there in the grille, because this car does have the surround view camera system. And then I talked about the radar cruise control, which this car has. You might know it as adaptive cruise control. So same deal there. So overall, it's a really nice design. You've got this textured grille piece out front that's painted gloss black. And let's talk about this color. It is fusion black. It's kind of difficult to see on camera, but it's got a lot of sparkle, a lot of flake to it. It's very pretty. And then you do have the Kia emblem there in all of its beauty in that satin silver finish. So let me know what you guys think of this front end, because it's been very controversial, but I love it. So let's talk about the wheel set that's on this hybrid. It's a similar wheel set, and by similar, I mean identical wheel set to the SX gas Sportage. So I'm interested to see why Kia did that. This is a Prestige hybrid, but the wheel set is off of a non-Prestige SX gas model. So it's an 18-inch wheel. It's kind of this matte gray color, which is a really, really nice look to it. The actual spoke design on the wheel is fantastic. I've always loved this wheel ever since they came out with it. I actually wish they'd make it in a larger diameter because, you know, it looked good on various other Kia models as well. But nonetheless, they do have it here. So it's overall a really good looking wheel design. You can't go wrong with it. And then as far as the tire, it's a Goodyear Assurance tire. So probably good for better fuel economy. It's definitely really good for ride comfort and low road noise. So if you guys test drive this car or get the opportunity to, just make note of that. So let's talk about the tailgate on the Sportage Hybrid. There's really nothing much different back here from a standard gas-powered Sportage. However, just make note, you're gonna have a full LED brake light system, including LED indicators. You're gonna have a top-mounted rear wiper, so it's kind of flush with the spoiler back here. Third brake light housing. You do have your Kia emblem embossed in large letters back here. You do have your Sportage badge back here as well. You do have a lot of this silver satin painted piece on the lower area of the bumper, which looks incredible. You do have your reflector piece back here, and then you're going to notice you have your rear parking sensors kind of hidden. Actually, they're really hard to see, but that's kind of cool for some people because some people don't like things to be obvious on their car. You do have your backup camera, of course, and then you are going to have your third brake light integrated down here. Okay, it's interesting that they separated the third brake light from all the other lights on the car, so it's different, but it looks really cool when it's illuminated. So you got that going on back here, and then of course the tailgate is going to be a power tailgate, so you just press it and it opens right on up. Going into the tailgate, or trunk area some would call it, so there's really nothing too exciting to talk about back here. This is a very, very good sized trunk. It's very similar to the size of the Sorento, just minus the third row seats. So just make note of that because the Sportage does ride on the Sorrento's platform. You do have levers on each side to fold down the rear seats at will. They pull that, fold them flat, which is nice. You notice that it's going to be a 60-40 split. Got carpeted floor mats back here, and then underneath the trunk area you do have a spare tire, and that's important to note because a lot of hybrids do not give you that option because the battery packs will take up the trunk space. So that's really cool about the Sportage. You notice you do have 4 tie down points down here, so if you want to use it for any utilitarian aspects of life, you can do that. So if you want to put mulch back here and tie it down, you can do exactly that. Now make note, with any of our other tailgates, just like this one, you can press this to close it, but you can also press and hold this button to actually set the memory height for the tailgate. In the back of the Sportage Hybrid, I have a ton of room. I mean, this car is definitely the epitome of looks can be deceiving. So this seat is actually leaned pretty far back. I've got a ton of knee room here. I've got a ton of headroom, and honestly, the seats are wide enough, so if 3 people are sitting back here, you're not gonna have to battle for space, which is really nice. So overall, really, really comfortable place to be. The leather seats are just super, super plush. I mean, overall, fantastic. Right, so to give you guys a better view of what's going on in here, you do have your rear vents there. You do have your USB-C ports. You got it on both seats. You do have mat pockets on the back of both seats as well. A little storage cubby there. Don't forget, you do have that beautiful panoramic sunroof, so the rear passengers can enjoy it just as much as the front passengers. You see you got a little section here for the cup holders. If I actually bring that down, so you can do that. You do have this lever down here, so you can actually fold the seat flat if you want, but you can also recline it if you're sitting back there, which is cool. On the actual door card itself, so you can see you have this kind of silver textured design on the actual trim piece itself. Metallic finish for the door handle. Harman Kardon surround sound, can't forget that puppy. Of course, you got a little storage area here, probably good for a small water bottle or soda can or something of that sort, and then leather into the actual door itself. So overall, it's really, really nice place to be back here. And then you can see these little coat hangers, and it's got rubber on the back of it, so you can actually see that this can hold something in place. So something really cool that they've implemented into the headrest here on the Kia Sportage. Let's talk about the inside of the driver area. So of course, just like other Sportages, you do have the panoramic display. You do have a heated steering wheel here because this is a Prestige, it's leather wrapped. The front 2 seats are going to be powered seats, which is nice. but they're also going to be memory for the driver's seat, so 1 and 2 settings there. Like I said earlier, you got a Harman Kardon surround sound. My camera is not enjoying focusing today. Over here, you are going to have your parking brake button, your battery reset button that you're used to seeing on a lot of hybrids, your power tailgate button to open and close it, your illumination button for the dash, and then traction control, which you'll probably never have to turn off in this car. Automatic headlights and fog lights, of course, with auto high beam assist. You are going to have over here the auto rain sensing windshield wipers. And if you notice this little tidbit right here, you do have paddle shifters on the steering wheel. So you can shift through all 6 gears of the transmission on your own accord if you want to. Over here, this being a hybrid, you do have, there we go, if it wants to focus, the rotary shifter here. Park is in the middle, it's a physical button. All the Prestiges are all-wheel drive, so you got the center locking differential, which is nice. Parking sensor button, the button to activate the surround view camera, auto hold to hold your brake pedal for you while you're in drive, and then of course the start stop button. Now you got a wireless phone charger there. In addition to that, you are going to have things like additional USB-A and USB-C chargers and a 12-volt charger there if you want to hook anything up. You do have the touch bar here that's shared with other Sportage models and of course shared with the EV6 and the Nero now. So you'll be right at home there as far as features. Over here you do have these really cool cup holders that I love because you can just slide them back and then it locks into place like so. And then if you want, just press this and it opens right on up. Let's talk safety features, right? So the Sportage comes very well equipped from the factory. However, at this level, you are going to have quite a bit of things. So you are going to have a surround view camera with blind spot view monitor, which if you've seen other videos of mine on say like a Prestige Sportage or say the Telluride, you're going to know that's when the video shows when you put on your turn signal. In addition to that, you're going to have automatic collision avoidance for the front, rear, and sides. And what I mean by rear, if you're backing up and it thinks you're going to hit something, it can apply the brakes. What about the side? Well, it's integrated with a blind spot detection system, but if somebody's in your blind spot and you actually get into their lane, the car can apply brake pressure to the outer wheel, thus steering you back into your lane. It's really, really cool how they've implemented these safety features, okay? You're gonna have safe exit warning. So if you're parked on a busy street and a car's coming up from behind you right after you turn off the car, it's gonna give you a warning so that way nobody can open up their doors and get hit, because we do not want that. In addition to that, you are going to have your lane departure warning, which is going to yell at you if you depart from your lane without using a signal. You're going to have lane keeping assist, so to actually steer you back into your lane. And then you are going to have your lane following assist, which is actually going to center you into your lane. Now, with the adaptive cruise control, for those who aren't familiar, the car will actually mitigate its speed based off of the car in front of you. So say you set your cruise control at 70 miles an hour, someone in front of you is going 60. Without you having to touch a single pedal, the car will actually perfectly match their speed on the fly in real time without you having to touch a single pedal. Say if that guy stops because there's stop and go traffic, this car will actually come to a complete stop without you having to touch anything. It's insane, it's awesome. Now, if the car is stopped for longer than 3 seconds, then the car will ask you to tap the accelerator or press the reset button on the steering wheel, so that way you can actually start going again. It'll reactivate the adaptive cruise control. Now, with the adaptive cruise control and lane following assist, you get highway driving assist. All that does is literally combine the two features. It combines lane following assist and the adaptive cruise control, so that way it's a very easy, stress-free form of driving. Now, with any safety systems, always pay attention, because like anything in the world, you don't want to rely on something solely on its own technology and things like that, you know? So with that, always pay attention when you're driving, so that way you can avoid any accidents on your own accord, so that way the car doesn't necessarily have to. So I know there's going to be those who are curious about the engine bay. So if you want to look, here it is, okay? Smart Stream Hybrid, which is really cool. I love the blue striping there, just small attention to details. Your intake is right here. You're going to notice things related to the battery are going to be here. When I say battery, I mean the actual hybrid battery itself. So this is the battery coolant, which is nice. You see in the back there, you're going to have more reservoirs that are all clear. Your windshield washer fluid's right over here, so it's easily accessible for you. So realistically, you probably wouldn't want to do maintenance to the hybrid battery yourself. Leave it to Kia and their trained technicians, which is nice. You do have your fuse box over here with your positive battery post there, so if you need to jump the car, you can do so without damaging anything in the car. Now, something that I find really cool is that Kia still includes engine oil dipsticks on a lot of their cars, which is really nice because a lot of companies don't. From my knowledge though, this is a sealed transmission unit, so you won't have a transmission dipstick. Correct me if I'm wrong for those who know, because I've searched the manuals and I've asked a lot of technicians and such, and a lot of these cars have sealed transmissions now. But nothing's wrong with that because you realistically shouldn't have to service them. Over here, see Kia uses Total Energies for a lot of their oil supplies and things like that. And of course, you get a little warning sticker so you don't chop off your fingers. And so that is the 2023 Kia Sportage Hybrid SX Prestige. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe if you want more Kia content, and hit that bell in the upper right hand corner so that way you can stay up to date when I release videos. Again, if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you guys viewing and returning back to my channel. If you guys are actually new to my channel, I definitely thank you for clicking on the video. So without further ado, Kia King out.